Good morning, students. In today's lecture, we will discuss problems related to pressure on curved surfaces. First problem is a right circular cone is divided into two parts by a plane through its axis. One of these portions is just immersed in water with vertex downward. We are to find the resultant thrust on its curved surface, and also we are to show that it is inclined at an angle tangent inverse pi tangent alpha by 2 to the horizontal. Here alpha is semi-vertical angle of the cone. So we are given a right circular cone VAB. Let us take VO. This is the axis of the cone. The radius of the cone we have taken R. H is the height of the cone. VCT. This is the vertical plane through this axis VO, which divides this cone into two halves. Let us consider the right half of this cone and take X and Y, the horizontal thrusts on the curved surface of this half portion along two mutually perpendicular horizontal directions. These mutually perpendicular directions we have taken OB and the direction OD. Now let us find the value of X and Y. Now by definition, X is the resultant horizontal thrust along OB. It means it is the resultant thrust on the projection of curved surface of the half cone on the vertical plane which is perpendicular to this line. It means this is the resultant thrust on the triangle VCT. Now to find the resultant thrust on the triangle VCT, by the formula this is given by rho into G into depth of center of gravity into area of the triangle VCT. Density of water is rho. Depth of center of gravity, that is h by 3. Area of triangle VCT, that is half into base into height. So half into CT into OV. Now putting the values, this will be rho into G into h by 3 into half into 2R into h. Now because R upon h, that is tangent alpha, so R will be h tangent alpha. We can put the value of R here. So we get the resultant horizontal thrust along this direction OB. This is given by 1 by 3 h cube rho G tangent alpha. Now to find the resultant horizontal thrust along this direction. By definition, it is a thrust on the projection of the curved surface on a plane which is perpendicular to OD. It means thrust on the triangle OBV. Now because the curved surface is symmetrical about the plane OBV, therefore thrust on this plane, that will be 0. Now it remains to find the resultant vertical thrust. By definition, resultant vertical thrust, that is the weight of superincumbent liquid. It means weight of the liquid that fills half of the cone. It is given by density into G into half of volume of the cone. Volume of the cone is 1 by 3 pi R square H. So this will become 1 by 6 rho G pi R square H. Now substituting the value of R, which is H tangent alpha. So the resultant vertical thrust, that becomes 1 by 6 rho G pi H cube tangent square alpha. Now, because the forces x and z, they lies in the same plane. So these forces must be concurrent forces. And if the forces are concurrent, in that case, the resultant thrust, that is given by square root of x square plus y square plus z square. Putting the values of x, y and z, x is 1 by 3 h cube rho g tangent alpha, y is 0 and z is 1 by 6 rho g pi h cube tan square alpha. Putting the values of x, y and z here, we get the resultant thrust, which is given by 1 by 6 rho g h cube tangent alpha into square root of 4 plus pi square tan square alpha. Now, if we consider theta be the inclination of the resultant thrust to the horizontal, then tangent theta, that is given by z upon x. Putting the values of z and x here, z is 1 by 6 rho g pi h cube tangent square alpha and x is 1 by 3 rho g h cube tangent alpha. So after simplification, this becomes pi by 2 tangent alpha. So from here we can find the value of theta, which is tangent inverse of pi tangent alpha divided by 2. So this proves the required result. Now, our next problem is a right circular cone is just immersed in a liquid with its axis horizontal. We are to find the resultant horizontal thrust on half of the cone cut off by a vertical plane through the axis. In the second part, we are to find the resultant horizontal thrust on the lower half of the cone cut off by a horizontal plane through the axis. So first of all, we find the resultant horizontal thrust in the first case. So let us take a cone VAB. R is the radius of the cone and let us take H is the height. VAB, this is the vertical plane which divides this cone into two halves. Let us take X and Y are the horizontal thrusts on the curved surface of the half portion along two mutually perpendicular directions OX and OY. Now let us find the values of X and Y. X is the resultant horizontal thrust along OX, and by definition it is given by the resultant thrust on the projection of the curved surface on a plane which is perpendicular to OX, means the resultant thrust on the triangle VAB. Now by definition, the resultant thrust on triangle VAB, that is given by rho into G into depth of center of gravity of the triangle VAB, which is 0 plus R plus 2R by 3 into area of this triangle, which is half into base AB into height VO. Putting the values of AB and VO, AB is 2R, VO, this is the height of the cone, which is H. So putting the values, we get the resultant horizontal thrust along OX, which is given by rho G pi R square H. Now, next we find the resultant horizontal thrust along the direction OB. By definition, this is given by the resultant thrust on the projection of the curved surface on the plane base ACB, and it is given by the thrust on the semicircle ACB. So it becomes rho into G into R into area of semicircle ACB, which is pi R square by 2. So we can find the resultant horizontal thrust on half of the cone, which is given by square root of x square plus y square. Now value of x is rho g pi r square h, and value of y, that is rho g pi r cube by 2. So putting the values here, we get the resultant horizontal thrust on half of the cone, which is given by half of rho into g into r square into square root of 4h square plus pi square r square. So this gives us the resultant horizontal thrust on half of the cone cut off by a vertical plane through the axis. Now we'll discuss the second part, in which we are to find the resultant horizontal thrust on the lower half of the cone, which is cut off by a horizontal plane through the axis. So let us take VAB. This is the horizontal plane which divides the cone into two halves. We consider the lower half portion, and let us take x and y are the two horizontal thrusts along the directions OA and OB. These two directions are mutually perpendicular directions. Now let us find the value of x and y. By definition, x, which is the horizontal thrust along the line OA, this is the resultant thrust on the projection of the curved surface on a plane which is perpendicular to the line OA. It means this is the resultant thrust on the projection on the plane VOD. Now because the plane VOD, that is such that the curved surface is symmetric about this plane, so the resultant thrust on the curved surface, that becomes 0 in this case. Now let us find the horizontal thrust y, which is along the direction OB. By definition, this will be the resultant thrust on the semicircle ADB. It is given by half of the area of the circle into rho into g into depth of center of gravity of the semicircle. Depth of center of gravity of the semicircle is r plus 4r upon 3 pi. So y becomes half of pi r square into rho into g into r plus 4r upon 3 pi. Now we have obtained resultant horizontal thrust along two mutually perpendicular directions OA and OV. Now we can find the resultant horizontal thrust on the half cone under consideration. So it is given by square root of x square plus y square. Now x is 0. So the resultant horizontal thrust on the half cone under consideration, that becomes 0 plus y. So that is y, and the value of y is 1 by 2 pi r cube rho g into 1 plus 4 upon 3 pi. So this gives us the resultant horizontal thrust on the lower half of the cone cut off by a horizontal plane through the axis. So this completes the solution of this problem.